Due to some technical difficulties, the normal intro to this show will not be present in this episode, but welcome back to the WWE Wrestling Talk Show with Lisa Rock Jones and
Sean Randy Smith.
We are here today to present to you the pit stop to WWE's biggest party of the summer, SummerSlam, WWE Extreme Rules for one night of the year, where the rulebook goes out the window.
And the one night of the year where WWE goes extreme.
We have 12 matches all in all to bring you, 2 of which will take place on the kickoff / pre-show, and they both come at us from Tuesday Night SmackDown. First of all, the Battle of the Mexicans, when Andrade Cien Almas will take on Sin Cara.
Now, to put this short, let's just say this match was kind of thrown together as a filler.
And name this as a jobber match for Sin Cara, because I will be very surprised if Andrade Cien Almas does not walk away the victors.
But now on to the next match that has a certain bit of chaos to it.
Yes, this will be a six-man tag team tables match with the New Day going one-on-one with Sanity.
The newest team to SmackDown Live.
This will be chaotic, it will have woodwork, and if I remember the rules of a tag team tables match correctly, in order to win you have to put all of your opponents through the table
in order to win the match. So who do you see walking out with the win in that match?
Well, common sense and the fourth would say Sanity, and because the New Day seem to be moving into more of a singles role, I would also say Sanity. And if Sanity are gonna go on to feud with the Bludgeon Brothers or whoever the tag team champions may be later on, I would say Sanity.
So now, let's move on to the main card.
We start off with a match from Monday Night Raw. At last month's Money in the Bank, Alexa Bliss became only the second Miss Money in the Bank by winning the Women's Money in the Bank ladder match, and became the third superstar to cash in on the same night as winning, when she interrupted the championship match between Nia Jax and Ronda Rousey.
Now, you would think in this situation it would be good for Little Miss Bliss, but unfortunately for her, it's not.
Yes, because in doing this, she managed to piss off 2 very big women.
One being the rowdy one and the baddest woman on the planet, and the newest member to be inducted into the UFC Hall of Fame.
Rowdy Ronda Rousey, who made it clear the night after Money in the Bank that she was not going to take what Alexa Bliss did lightly, and gave her a beating and put her through a table, which earned her a 30-day suspension from Monday Night Raw.
But we expect her to be back at around...
Well, the next few weeks, really. And then there's, of course, the former champion Nia Jax, who has issued her rematch clause for Extreme Rules. But this will not just be a match, this will be an Extreme Rules match, which basically means you can chuck the rulebook out the window.
Yes, and even this rivalry has even spilled into real life as well.
And then, as if having no rulebook is bad enough, when you factor in the possible interference of Ronda Rousey in this match, it becomes really interesting as to whether Ronda Rousey will get involved, costing Alexa Bliss the championship, or do a beatdown after the match, or any combination thereof, will probably lead into the Barclays Center and some kind of women's championship match for Ronda Rousey at SummerSlam. Now, we move over to SmackDown for the next match. Following 4 losses, or 4 attempts, 5, whichever one it was, of Shinsuke Nakamura failing to capture the WWE Championship from AJ Styles, a gauntlet match was set up between Daniel Bryan, Samoa Joe, The Miz, Big E, and Rusev to decide who would challenge AJ Styles to Extreme Rules.
Absolutely.
The surprising winner of this match was Rusev, which means the WWE Championship could be turned into the Rusev Day Championship.
Now, when was the last time Rusev got a championship opportunity like this?
WrestleMania. He was in the Fatal 4-Way for the United States Championship.
But this past week on SmackDown, let's just say things got interesting between Rusev and AJ Styles.
Yes, Rusev seems to have been given AJ Styles' number over the past few weeks, and it wouldn't surprise me if he won the championship, but it would. I am fully expecting AJ Styles to win the championship, or retain, I should say, the championship here, and then go on to a interesting challenge, which is rumoured to happen at SummerSlam. However, I'd said the same thing at Backlash last year when Jinder Mahal took on Randy Orton.
Yeah, took on me in the match in which I lost. Sorry, Bang.
And we all know how that went.
Yeah.
Switching back to Monday Night Raw.
Yes.
The Deleter of Worlds in Woken, Matt Hardy, and Bray Wyatt will take on the former Miz Taraj, and now known as the B Team, of Bo Dallas and Curtis Axel.
Now, the B Team have kind of been on a roll as of late, and kind of dubbed as a fairy tale story, a Cinderella story, if you will.
Yes, they have been doing well. The downside is they have over the past few weeks they have taken to impersonating the Deleter of Worlds, which is not the smartest idea they could have come up with.
Very true.
I would though like to see the B Team be successful here, although maybe they would delay having the B Team win the championships until SummerSlam.
Yes.
Now, at Money in the Bank, as we go back over to SmackDown Live, it was clear to anyone watching that Carmella was far from ready for Asuka, and that Asuka was moments away from winning the SmackDown Women's Championship until someone dressed as her would make an appearance on the apron and cost her the match.
And that person turned out to be
the returning James Ellsworth.
It was enough for Asuka to be in shock. Asuka turned around for a super kick for Carmella to retain the championship.
Ellsworth has since taken to practically alienating himself against every woman on the roster, and has helped Carmella basically take advantage of Asuka in recent weeks. Paige booked a intergender match between Asuka and Ellsworth on last week's episode of SmackDown, in which, to quote JR, Ellsworth ran away like a scolded dog.
Yes, he did, but then this past week on SmackDown, the SmackDown General Manager Paige put Ellsworth against Asuka in a lumberjill match.
Yes, and Asuka was having her way with Ellsworth again until Ellsworth decided to play police officer and pepper spray Asuka
right into another super kick for Carmella. But then comes a sense of deja vu.
Yes, because backstage Paige, probably having enough of their antics, has decided to add a stipulation to the rematch from Money in the Bank when Carmella defends the Women's Championship against Asuka. The stipulation being that James Ellsworth will be suspended above the ring in a shark cage. Chris Jericho.
Definitely Chris Jericho.
In previous times they've done this, there has been a way, Chris Jericho being a perfect example, of them being able to drop a certain piece of item from the cage to help someone win the match.
So that's the kind of thing you reckon that might help Carmella retain?
Yes, because whilst I possibly could see them putting off Asuka winning the championship until SummerSlam, I feel confident that Ronda Rousey will walk out of SummerSlam as the Raw Women's Champion, and I think it would be much better for WWE if they did a rematch of WrestleMania and did Asuka vs Charlotte 2 for the SmackDown Women's Championship.
Sounds like a good idea to me.
We stick with SmackDown Live in a tag team match for the SmackDown Tag Team Championships. Now, we mentioned to you earlier how there was a gauntlet match to decide who would challenge AJ Styles for the WWE Championship, and that Daniel Bryan was involved in this.
Yes, but as Daniel Bryan was making his entrance, he came face to face with the SmackDown Tag Team Champion.
And had a stare down with the Bludgeon Brothers. The Bludgeon Brothers would later make an appearance by having a beatdown on Daniel Bryan and allowing The Miz to eliminate him from the gauntlet match. And the following week, I believe it was, I think, was there a match between Bryan and AJ Styles?
I think there was.
There was some kind of match where I think it was after the match. The Bludgeon Brothers did a beatdown on Daniel Bryan, only for Daniel Bryan's old friend and nemesis and tag team partner to make a return to the WWE ring and make the save, and we are talking about Kane.
Yes, Kane, and then that would mean that Team Hell No is back together.
Yes, they would go on to hug it out in the ring. Paige would come out and schedule a tag team match for the tag team championships. between the Bludgeon Brothers and Team Hell No. The problem with this match is that everyone who knows Kane and knows what he's doing outside of the business knows that he is running for mayor in a particular part of America.
Yes, I would agree with you on that, very much.
However, if they did do this, Kane would make history in WWE, having been the only superstar to have held the World Tag Team Championships, the WCW Tag Team Championships, the Raw Tag Team Championships, and the SmackDown Tag Team Championships.
Of course.
Well, it would be interesting to see Team Hell No back together, and part of it is probably down to the fact that now that Daniel Bryan is cleared to wrestle, that they want to have him in as many dream matches as possible.
But only time will tell, and we'll move on to the next match.
The night after Money in the Bank, Seth Rollins issued the Intercontinental Championship Open Challenge despite having a very close affair with Elias the night before.
We do mean close.
Dolph Ziggler would answer the challenge, and with a little bit of assistance from Drew McIntyre, would surprise everyone by winning the Intercontinental Championship for the 6th time. The following week on Raw, Seth Rollins issued his rematch clause and appeared to be moments away from regaining the championship until Drew McIntyre got involved.
But then this past week on Raw, there was a match between Seth Rollins and Drew McIntyre with a stipulation. If Seth Rollins beat Drew McIntyre, then Drew McIntyre will be banned from ringside at Extreme Rules.
Yes, because after having his rematch failed on Monday Night Raw, a match was booked at Extreme Rules between the two for the Intercontinental Championship. However, this will be a 30-minute Iron Man match.
And you don't hear that very often.
Which, if I simper down, this will be a precise half-an-hour match, no longer and no shorter. The two superstars will go head-to-head for 30 minutes. Whoever has the most number of falls at the end of the 30 minutes will be the Intercontinental Champion. Falls are gained by pinfall, submission, count-out and disqualification.
So that has the atmosphere for a cracking match.
And whilst I would like to see Seth Rollins regain the Intercontinental Championship, why put it on Ziggler if you just can have him lose it a month later? And he's rumoured to go into a feud with Drew McIntyre, and Seth Rollins is rumoured to go back into the Universal Championship picture.
Yes.
Our next match is what many fans would probably class as a pointless match, and despite the fact that it is not directly a number one contenders match, will probably be treated as. Initially, there was going to be I think a 6-pack challenge style match to determine who would face Brock Lesnar for the Universal Championship at SummerSlam. But that match was cancelled
due to Brock's contract.
Well, that's the story they were doing on TV. I think the official story, however, was that Vince McMahon decided not to do the match. However, two of the superstars who are going to be in this match will go one-on-one with each other at Extreme Rules, and those will be Roman Reigns and Bobby Lashley. And this will probably serve as a number one contenders match, with the winner going on to face Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam, because Brock Lesnar has now been confirmed to have a match at SummerSlam.
With whoever wins.
Well, not with whoever wins, but he will have a match. Whilst I would say the safe bet is for Roman Reigns to win this match, you could have Bobby Lashley do it, and because of this whole thing about Roman Reigns having opportunity after opportunity and losing each and every time, trying to build him up as almost an underdog who will finally dethrone Brock Lesnar. Newsflash, WWE, just because he works for Daniel Bryan doesn't mean it's going to work for everyone else.
True, very true. Now, I think it's time for a mammoth punishment match, shall we say?
Not quite. We go back to SmackDown for the final time in the match card.
Yeah.
After failing to pick up the WWE Championship from AJ Styles, Shinsuke Nakamura seems to have set his sights on Jeff Hardy and the United States Championship.
So, Shinsuke has had so many chances of going for the main title, but now it seems that he's got a demotion.
Well, maybe they wanted to see how he would do as the mid-card champion before putting him on the main championship, because let's face it, just because he hasn't won the main championship yet doesn't mean he won't. Although this is a classic example, in my opinion, of guys coming up from NXT and not necessarily being given the chances they deserve.
But then again, Shinsuke is coming off the back of an injury sustained by a police dog.
Yes, that's something in itself. But when we look at Shinsuke Nakamura, he came up just after WrestleMania last year. Had some okay matches with Dolph Ziggler. Had several WWE Championship matches with Jinder Mahal last year.
Yeah.
He did win a relatively good Royal Rumble match earlier in the year.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
And whilst his WrestleMania match with AJ Styles was in some ways a letdown, the other matches they had did work and were better. That's probably because Nakamura was a heel and able to tap into more of his heel / style.
So, who do we reckon may walk out of this with the championship?
Well, Jeff Hardy has had a decent run with the United States Championship, holding it since the week after WrestleMania. But I am now of the opinion that if Shinsuke Nakamura doesn't win the United States Championship, then he will no longer be credible as a possible main event star, if indeed he still is. And his entire heel turn will have been wasted.
So, that's the last SmackDown match on the card. Now to Raw.
As we go back to Raw, we go to a brief match which I am not going to spend too much time on.
And that is?
It's a match which seems on paper to be as pointless as a kickoff show match with Almas and Sin Cara. It's Finn Balor versus Constable Baron Corbin.
Let's just say, let's move on.
Yes. Common sense says Finn Balor, but with Baron Corbin, you never know.
Okay.
But now we go on to feeding time.
And that is Kevin Owens is in serious jeopardy.
Yes, ever since Money in the Bank, a bit before actually, Kevin Owens seems to have attempted at least to strike up either a partnership or friendship with Braun Strowman.
I don't know how
that didn't work out so well because Braun Strowman ended up tipping over Kevin Owens' car in the arena.
Yes.
They were scheduled to have a match, I think it was last week, but Kevin Owens ran away, ended up hiding in a portable toilet.
Which then Braun Strowman had the strength to tip over.
Yes, he locked Owens in and then tipped him over. He spent the majority of this week's episode of Raw hiding in Kurt Angle's office until Braun Strowman was invited in. And Kurt Angle gave Kevin Owens the horrible news that because he keeps running away from Braun Strowman in normal one-on-one matches, at Extreme Rules they will go one-on-one inside a steel cage.
In where, Kevin Owens, your career will be in tatters by the end of that match.
And you would think that Braun Strowman would win this match, especially being Mr. Money in the Bank or Monster in the Bank. And the fact that he is probably going to cash in at SummerSlam, because where else is he going to cash in unless he goes to Brock Lesnar's front door?
And crash down Suplex City in the process.
That does it for the Extreme Rules match card. We shall quickly run through the matches again to give you our predictions.
Yes, we'll start with the kickoffs.
I say Andrade Cien Almas to defeat Sin Cara.
I agree with that one.
Sanity to defeat the New Day.
Again, I agree with that, unless the New Day pull out some sort of miracle.
Alexa Bliss to defeat Nia Jax.
I reckon Nia Jax to beat Alexa Bliss. Courtesy of Ronda Rousey's interference.
Yes, but I personally think they're going to do either a triple threat match or Alexa Bliss versus Ronda Rousey at SummerSlam.
Okay.
AJ Styles to defeat Rusev for the WWE Championship.
I agree with that one as well.
For this one, I am going to say the Deleter of Worlds, Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt, to defeat the B Team for the Raw Tag Team Championships.
Okay, I agree there.
Asuka to defeat Carmella for
I agree with that one also.
whether it's actually winning the championship offer or not, I'm not 100% sure.
Okay.
Team Hell No to defeat the Bludgeon Brothers unless there's some outside interference.
Agree with that one.
Reluctantly, I say Dolph Ziggler defeats Seth Rollins for the Intercontinental Championship.
I say Seth Rollins retains.
You mean
I think he
wins?
must regain his IC title because Dolph Ziggler's contract is expiring very, very soon.
I say Roman Reigns defeats Bobby Lashley.
I agree.
I say Shinsuke Nakamura defeats Jeff Hardy for the United States Championship.
Agreed.
I say Finn Balor defeats Constable Baron Corbin or Constable Kane 2.0.
Again, I agree with you on that one.
And Braun Strowman destroys Kevin Owens inside the steel cage.
Couldn't agree more.
So that does it for our Extreme Rules pre-show match predictions. Join us next week where we will bring you the results of Extreme Rules and our reactions.
So until then, he's been
Reese Verloc Jones and he's been
Sean Randy Smith. Enjoy Extreme Rules, and remember, this could get very extreme.